Okay, I just tested it out, and this thing shoots 22 pellets just fine, like for a pellet rifle. I don't have a bolt in here, and I am not in a safe location to where I can test it with a bullet to make the bolt go forward from the air and then fire an actual bullet, because this is a real gun barrel, not just a pellet rifle barrel. Uh, but this thing works great. I only had it at about 100 psi, so it's not like the strongest pellet rifle, but it was plenty strong enough to go through a little thin piece of paneling like this, which is great. Uh, that's pretty much it. It's done. I mean, other than I made this, that you're wondering why is this thread on and offable? Uh, on this end, you don't thread it on and off just to change like the bullet or anything or the pellet. You simply you pull it out of there. And so that tape is just for temporary seal because there's like notches in the barrel that I still need to seal up, like, for where it was a gun barrel, you see. And so it's just wrapped in tape for now just to give it a better seal. That piece of pipe is actually not going anywhere. It's on there good. And this is all, even with a bullet, the bullet casing and everything is in-housed in all that thick metal. I've seen plastic guns before that only have enough metal just around where the bullet is, and the rest of it's all plastic. It'd be fine. I was originally thinking all this needed to be metal too. No, I did some research, looked into it. Nah, this can all be plastic. Cheaper anyways. But yeah, so you pull that out, and then you drop either your pellet, which I use a little tiny drill bit as a ramrod because obviously this is a real gun barrel, so you got like that much space where the casing can fit in. So a 22 pellet for a pellet rifle is a little loose, so you just push it down past that much to where it actually wedges in the normal where the rifling starts, which is fine. No big deal. It's a single shot anyways. It's not like I'm trying to speed reload or do any of that. It's like, no big deal. And then, you put it back on, and it's got a safety. I've been using this bolt that wedges in there pretty good, and that's what I use as a safety. So you charge it up, and then with the safety on, you charge it up, and then you reload it, put it all together, and then when you're ready, you pull the safety out. And the little thing that pops out does work. When you get closer to it, about 100 psi, it pops out. So this thing maybe to hold around 100 psi or so. I've had it so far to about 110 psi, which is pretty good. And so, like I said, eventually there will be a version of this. So this unthreads so that I can make different versions of this. Maybe some of them will have different size chambers here. Just experimenting, making so it unthreads so that I can experiment and make different versions. And so this version is good for the pellets because there's no holes in it. Now when I make the version for the bolt, I'm going to have a couple holes in it. One all the way where the bolt goes forward so that all the air in front of the bolt can come out, and then one when just behind the bolt when the bolt is all the way forward. That way the air behind it that has pushed it forward has somewhere to come out. I don't want to risk breaking anything. And that's basically going to be the other version of this. So I'll have to get one more of this thread-on piece. Right now none of this is glued together, so I mean if I wanted to go ahead and drill a hole in this one, I could still like swap out this part. I mean, I might not have to ever glue this together. We'll see. That would be nice if I could just swap out this and not even, then I just bought this threaded piece for no reason. But it's like, whatever. But yeah, we'll see. But that's the whole idea behind the threaded part here. And that is actually a barbed connection, pretty much the same as that one. I had to buy another one because I didn't have another one. But I got that this thread is bigger than the thread that's on that one. That one had small enough threads, I barely had to do any reaming, and I got it to thread its way in really tight. This one I got specifically because it just about fit inside a piece of this pipe. I had to do a little bit of reaming, and then, take my time and make some threads. Obviously it stretched it a little bit. As you can see, it's a little bulge there. And it's good. It's a good seal. And that's just how I connected that to this hose, because I already had this piece of hose. It's from a water line, but it's for a high pressure, setup. So it's water and air. Pressure's pressure, right? PSI is PSI. It should hold, and it looks like the braided stuff. It should hold just fine. Right now I don't have any hose clamps. I got one of the smaller hose clamps, but I can't find another one, so I'm just going to wait till I can find another one. It's not a big deal, but for now I don't have any hose clamps on them. But yeah, it's pretty much finished and usable as a pellet rifle at the moment. Sorry, I'm just putting it back in. It wedges in there pretty tight, and that's why I'm okay with that, just wedging in there, not having a pin or anything to hold it in there. There we go, it's in there now. Alright, and so you just hold it like that, but there's no like finger trigger, it's a thumb trigger only. Oh, I forgot to put the firing pin back in. Well, either way, it's empty tank right now. But yeah, you just do that, and if you do it quick enough, you might get more than one shot out of it, but so far I've been kind of slow. I've been getting one shots playing with it. That's okay. I never intended this to be a multi. Either way, you have to do all that to reload it, so I like it. I think it's cool. 22 pellet rifle from scratch. What do you think of that? And I like how stiff the hose is. That makes for a good... It's not like this needs a recoil thing or anything, but like you just put this part up against your shoulder and it doesn't like... It's a stiff hose. It's like the stock basically, and it doesn't hurt anything. You just put it right up against your shoulder. I might end up making this part a little longer just because of that, so it's like feels like more like a stock. And then I might have to... I don't know if the hose will be long enough then or not. It should be if I just make this maybe like 3 or 4 inches longer, because that's about all it needs, I think. And then it'll feel more like a stock. And I think that's cool. I finally found my other giant hose clamp, and then this is like a homemade hose clamp. It's originally for like the muffler on my scooter, but I hated it. I don't like using it as a muffler thing, just because the way it's designed. I even modified it, like I curled over the ends so that it would hold a nut and everything from either way I put it in, and that's how I'm using it. I used the other one of these on the muffler, which turned out to be working pretty good. But I'm quite happy with that. It's a bit heavy now, but it's not too bad. It feels about as heavy as a normal little 22 rifle. What do you think? Should I attach a little hand bicycle pump to the bottom here or to the side somewhere and just plumb it in, and then no longer have to use my air compressor anymore? That'd be neat, and then it really would be from scratch a homemade pump action pellet rifle, which is pretty cool. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. That's all.